Who's ready to discuss the 2025 NFL Draft? It feels weird.
Not me.
Saying that. It's a little too early, but nope, not here on CBS Sports HQ Spotlight. It is never too early. Looking at the odds as of now, it's Carson Beck leading the way at plus 300, followed by Shador Sanders, and then James Pierce Jr., of course, the top edge rusher out of Tennessee. And we're going to have our draft expert, Ryan Wilson, joining us now to discuss this list as Ryan disappears on my screen like magic. All right, Ryan, we love to look ahead. That's what we do here on Spotlight. And when it comes to the number one pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, right now it is Carson Beck. Does he have a firm hold on that spot?
Well, a couple things. Jenny, good to see you. Tommy, heard you off camera there. 246 days until the 2025 NFL Draft if you're keeping score at home. Right now, Carson Beck is quarterback one when you talk to a lot of folks around the league, but that can certainly change. And Jenny, you know how the SEC works, especially in Georgia, when you're stockpiled with five-star athletes to your left and to your right, as Carson Beck is. It makes things a little easier for you, but he did a great job last season navigating that post-Stetson Bennett world, and this team was really good. He did a lot of good things. He's a really good athlete. He can throw with anticipation. You see him taking a hit there, standing in the pocket. He needs to improve on some things, the deep ball accuracy, all the things we talk about with the young players. But year one as a starter for Georgia was incredibly impressive. And there was some conversation that he might have come out last year, Jenny. And if he had, we had a real chance of having 7 quarterbacks go in the first round. But of course, he returned to Georgia, and now he sits as QB1. But there's no guarantee 246 days from now that remains the case.
He went over that room real quick, too, for the Bulldogs. All right, another quarterback that could be at the top of the list, Shador Sanders there in his first year at Colorado, threw for over 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns against just 3 interceptions. What does he need to do to bump up his stock?
Well, his dad needs to help make sure that offensive line is a little better, because there is no one tougher in college football than Shador Sanders. He took a ton of hits last year, primarily because he was trying to create things when the pocket broke down, and the pocket broke down quite often. It was a great story the first 3 weeks of the season when they got to 3-0, in large part because Shador was incredibly accurate throwing the ball down the field. The deep ball accuracy is there for days. But you see here, sometimes he holds the ball too long. Really good athlete as a runner, and we didn't know that at Jackson State so much, but you want him taking fewer hits. So ideally, the ball comes out quicker, the ball comes out on time, and the deep ball touch like we see here continues because he is a first-round talent, no doubt about it, Jenny.
Get the man some protection. All right, give me a quarterback or two that you expect to rise up the draft boards. Who are you excited about?
All right, let's do this, and we will start at the U, right down the street from you guys by way of Washington State. Cam Ward is a young man who transferred from Incarnate Word, an FCS program, went to Washington State for 2 seasons and balled out there, and now he's at the U to help get that program back on the map. He can do everything off platform that you want him to do. And by the way, he is a fantastic leader. You talk to people at Washington State, he controlled that locker room. You talk to people at the U, already he is taking charge. He's very quiet, but when he talks, people listen. He needs to get better when you talk to scouts about getting through his reads and staying on time, but the athleticism and arm strength is incredibly exciting. And now, Jenny, let's go to Baton Rouge, because that program has a history of turning guys who were day 3 picks into first or second overall picks. You know about Joe Burrow, of course, in 2020. Last year, Jaden Daniels. And this is the young man that was behind Jaden Daniels, Garrett Nussmeier. Name might sound familiar because his dad played in the NFL, and he's currently Doug Nussmeier, the wide receivers coach, or excuse me, the QB coach for the Eagles. Nussmeier only had 1 start last year in that Wisconsin game, and he balled out in that bowl game when Jaden Daniels set. But he had to come in the 4th quarter against Alabama when Jaden Daniels got knocked out. And he made some big-time throws there. When you talk to people around the league, they are very excited to see what Garrett Nussmeier can bring. Coach's son, he got a lot of first-team reps last year every week, and he's going to have the chance to be a big-time player here who goes from off the radar to potentially first-round pick, Jenny.
They're very high on him over there at LSU. All right, how many days until the draft? What was it?
246.
Okay, 246. So we're not going to have your first mock out for a while, but if you had to predict how it's going to look, would you say is going to go number 1 overall, and which team do you think is going to be drafting that player? Putting you on the spot.
Well, Jenny, I told producer Noah my first mock draft comes out next week, so we're almost there. Number 1, it has to be quarterback Carson Beck. Even though my favorite player right now at the top of my board is Will Johnson, the cornerback out of Michigan. And if you're interested, Rick Spielman's favorite player right now is his teammate, defensive lineman Mason Graham. So those are 3 names to keep an eye on. But if you're drafting first, you probably almost certainly need a quarterback.
Which team do you think is going to be picking number 1 overall?
Oh, Jenny, who knows? That I don't know yet.
All right, we'll see you in your
Who's
mock
a bad
next
football
week.
team? Not the Patriots.
There we go.
Yeah, next week. Let's do
All
it
right.
next week.
We'll talk about that next week. Ryan Wilson, always a pleasure to see you on this big screen over here. We appreciate